Hey guys, how's it going? So today's Monday, and guess what? Congress is back in session. And what are they doing? Well, they're talking about making new laws. The most important for us to worry about right now are all these new gun control laws that are being proposed. Red flag laws, infringement on the Second Amendment, and almost the rest of the Bill of Rights. I've done videos detailing that in the past. Universal background checks, assault weapons bans, high capacity magazine bans, and many others. So here's the deal. We've talked about this before. We have to call. We have to write. We have to go to their offices if they're nearby, or even if they're far. Drive to their offices. Talk to their aides. Talk to them. Call, guys. Now look, some people I know are getting kind of frustrated. Like, these are our Second Amendment rights. We shouldn't have to fight for them. They were given us by God, and they're just confirmed in the Bill of Rights. And I totally agree with you. We shouldn't have to. And other people have said, well, this is already a foregone conclusion. All these gun control bills are going to happen anyway, so whatever. Here's the problem with that. Have you guys ever heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy? There's sometimes things in life that are not on the course of happening, but since you believe they're going to, your apathy, or your just general distaste for it, or just being lazy, sometimes something happens that you feared happening. Why? Because you just simply sat back and let it happen. And look, I'm not calling you guys out individually. I know a lot of you guys are doing way more than I am. But look, it's time to step it up, guys. Because here's the deal. From what I'm starting to hear, they're starting to kind of talk about gun control a little bit different lately. Now look, in the media, all they're talking about is more gun control, it's gonna pass. 67% of people approve of this. 90% of people approve of that. Well, we know these polls are often done on a dishonest premise, and that they're slanted so much that they're basically outright lies by the time they get reported to us in the mass media, right? But what I'm hearing is going on actual Capitol Hill. Now look, we're not talking Walmart banning guns or any of that. Again, we know these people's agendas. But the actual people that create laws in this country that are worried about getting reelected, they're worried about sitting high on that hill and retaining the power they have. I've heard they're starting to kind of talk a little bit lately. And they're kind of starting to waver a little bit. And a lot of the Republicans, they're starting to back off of some of their gun control proposals that they were supporting just a couple weeks ago. So this is where I think we're at right now, guys. I haven't said we've won this, and we're far from winning this battle. Unfortunately, it seems we're going to have to fight for our rights forever. But we can't go in the corner and put our hands up like we won, because you know what's going to happen? They're going to come up from behind and knock us down. Cheap shot from the back. We already know that. But we also can't go hide in the corner and accept our defeat and just sit back and try to defend what's left. Because here's the problem. If you put yourself in the corner, if you marginalize yourself and pretend that nobody cares about gun rights, guess what's going to happen? These elected officials that actually make law, they're going to believe that it's a second-class right, and not many people care about it. Look, there's over 100 million of you guys out there that own guns. There's tens of millions of people that are true Second Amendment supporters. You're not alone. It may seem like you're alone. It may seem like every time you watch something on TV that we're losing. I wouldn't fall into the hype. I wouldn't fall into the propaganda. Look, we're definitely not doing good right now, but I don't think we've lost. And for those of you that literally aren't willing to call because you consider this to be a foregone conclusion and you don't even think it's worth voicing your voice to your representatives, holding them accountable at the ballot box, all these things, you're kind of going to become complacent in whatever happens. So, look, I'm not trying to get anyone mad at me, but I'm calling myself out first and foremost. I have a long list of people to call again tomorrow. I've called them dozens of times, but you know what? If 24 times isn't enough, then they need to be called the 25th time. And I'm challenging each and every one of you, get out there, call them, peacefully, politely, but assertively, and let them know we mean business. Enough's enough. We're sick of your crap. We will vote you out of office. We'll vote third party if that's what it takes. Whatever you feel you need to tell them, just tell them the truth. Shall not be infringed. None of these gun laws. You pass even one of them, you even give any of them a serious consideration, I will do my best to tell all of my friends, and by the way, there's 100 million of us, remind them, and we will do our best to make you a year unemployed, and you're going to lose all of your power and your job that you've longed for your whole life and that you never want to lose. So don't forget that. We still do have something over them. The power that they desire is what keeps them going every day. Well, we can use that against them because these people are accountable. And this has happened before. After the assault weapons ban of 1994, the Congress vastly switched over from a Democrat control to a Republican control. And if you look back then, it seemed like things couldn't have been any more bleak, but people stood up. They voted him out of office. Now, fast forward to more recent times. Do you guys remember former Senator Kelly Ayotte? Well, Kelly Ayotte was the senator from New Hampshire. She's no longer the senator. You know why? She supported some pro-gun control bills and voted for them, and she voted against the filibuster to stop the gun control after Sandy Hook. She's the former senator because she lost her next Senate bid by a little over 1,000 votes, which is so close it's statistically far less than 0.1%. And this is in recent memory. Her colleagues that sat in the Senate with her remember the former senator that used to be a Republican and lost due to her anti-gun stance. So if you guys want to remind your senators of that, go ahead. But they know. The main thing is if we treat ourselves like we're on the fringes and we try the whole silent majority thing, it's not going to work out well for us. So keep doing what you guys are doing. Make the calls. Look, you can call for free. I know money's tight for a lot of people. If you've got some money, I encourage you, join GOA. If you're already a member and you got a little extra, give them a little extra money. GOA is actually in Washington right now, fighting for our rights. Like literally, boots on the ground in Washington, going around talking to senators. They're the ones that have all the form letters that I encourage you guys to sign and email, as well as your own original calls. Another group I'd like to talk about is Firearms Policy Coalition. If you guys subscribe to their YouTube channel, which I do, you'll see that their guy Craig that works for him, Morning Coffee with Craig, he's been putting out 2 videos a day showing him walking around the hallways, the halls of Congress, going to these different senators' offices. He's telling us, hey, let's all call this senator. Let's call that other senator. Look, Firearms Policy Coalition doesn't even lobby. They don't pay any money to the campaigns for these candidates and for these senators and representatives. All they do is use the money that we donate to unite all of our voices and to try to create avenues for these people to hear the millions of voices that truly are pro-A and that truly are pro-gun. So get behind these organizations if you guys can. Look, are they going to maybe possibly mismanage our money later like other groups have? I don't know. So far, I've not seen any wrongdoings by the GOA, Firearms Policy Coalition. These are the actual boots on the ground right now. Don't forget about Second Amendment Foundation. They're the ones that often litigate a lot of these things, where after our Congress fails us and passes an unconstitutional law, they're the ones responsible for helping to bring it to the, appeals courts and the Supreme Court. So here's my answer if you guys want to know what I think we should do. We should do all of the above. Peacefully, lawfully, but assertively. Call them all. Call them all again. Call them tomorrow. Call them the next day. These bills are literally getting written up right now and going to committees. And once the snowball starts to roll down the hill, it's almost impossible to stop it. But right now it's still sitting at the top. It might be starting to lean one way or another, but what's going to make it happen, in my opinion, is just get in their face, keep going, keep going. Look, we're not going to accept defeat either way. Even if they beat us with legislation, hey, we'll talk about it then. We'll go to other plans, okay? But right now is the time. So if you're putting it off, and you're really, really wishing that somebody out there would save the Second Amendment and stop these guys from treading on our rights, just remember that somebody that can do something about it is you. All right, thanks for watching, and have a good one.